Hey YouTube, Alex here with Alex's Agamids, and in today's video I wanted to address the frequently asked question, how much does it cost to set up an entire Chinese water dragon enclosure? I'm gonna try and break it into three segments, going over the cage and the costs that are associated with the cage by itself. Then I'm going to go into my heating and lighting setup, and then finally I'm going to go over substrate and decor for the enclosure. So you can hear Ozzy and Harriet moving around as I'm filming this. It's the breeding season, so let me get the door open so that way you can see them, because this would not be a water dragon channel without the dragons. So there's Ozzy. Harriet just jumped down here. Here she is, looking pretty as ever. Since it's the breeding season, her crest is a little bit damaged. That's just because the males will grab onto that, and literally within a month she'll shed that off. Obviously, I would never suggest keeping two water dragons together. They only stay together for about a month or two, and then after I know that they've bred numerous times, I'll separate them and Harriet will do her thing. Chinese water dragons don't do good together long term. They're very territorial lizards, unless you've got a massive enclosure, and I mean, you're talking plenty of territory. They want nothing to do with each other. So the cage. This is the Animal Plastics A35 model. So it is 4 feet tall, 6 feet long, and 2 feet back. This is perfect for a pair of Chinese water dragons during the breeding season, or in this case, I'm using it for Ozzy as his main house. You can go smaller. The minimum size that I always suggest is like 4 foot by 2 foot floor space, and then whatever you can do for height. Since I had the room for a 6 foot cage, I figured why not and spend the extra money. This cage, when I purchased it, was $575. Since it is 4 foot tall and 6 feet long, it actually had to be shipped via freight. Shipping adds up really quickly with big cages. Animal Plastics charged me $206 just to ship the cage, but they ship everything including the glass doors for you. And obviously, I mean, Animal Plastics, they've done this business for years. They know how to ship this stuff. So I did have the shelf, and I got the option for a divider. The divider cost me $50, and then the ledge cost me $45. So with the cage, with shipping, and with the add-on of the ledges and the divider, that grand total, that cost me $876. Caging wise, you're talking just shy of $900 for just the cage. And so after that, we now have to calculate lighting. So the cost of all of these lights, we're just going to go in order: UVB, UVA, and heat. The 36-inch T5 fluorescent fixtures are $39.99 each on Reptile Basics. So you need 2 of them, so that means I paid $79.98 for the 2. You also need 2 of your 24-inch UVA lights for each side, and so those cost $34.99. So then the 2 of these bulbs are $69.98. And then your UVB lights, I ordered those from Josh's Frogs, and those cost $24.99. So for the 2 UVB lights, I spent $49.98, rounded up to $50 if you're taking notes, and please do take notes while you're watching this video. It'll help you budget. Lastly are my heating lights. Josh's Frogs sells these Zilla mini halogen domes for $14.99. So as you can imagine, you need 2 of them in this case, and that would be $29.98 via Josh's Frogs. But you can't just leave a heat lamp like this dangling around, because obviously if he jumps up, he's going to hit it and burn himself. So you need to buy a cage guard. Arcadia sells one. I won't lie, I did not like the one Arcadia has. It comes down like all the way to here. The lizards have no way to jump up. So these are actually just a wire light that I saw on Amazon. It's $15.99. I've got my little price sheet out here for you. So the 2 wire cages were $31.98. You also need heat lights. Those heat lights are 25-watt mini halogen bulbs. Do not waste your money and buy the actual Zilla brand ones at a pet store for $11. You can buy a 5-pack for $28.98. I mean, that's something like, I want to say $6 a bulb versus $11 a bulb. You're going to save a lot of money. Do allow me to note, the reason why I got the Reptile Basics fixtures versus the Arcadia Pro T5s is, 1, they're cheaper, but 2, by default the Reptile Basics bulbs come with these 6.4K UVA lights. So I didn't have to pay for these lights. Those came with the fixture. But for the UVB lights, you do have to take the 36-inch fixture out and replace it with a UVB light. So make sure you know that, because by default, the Vivarium Electronics fixtures do not emit UVB. And so if you don't have UVB, your lizards get metabolic bone disease and they die. In the grand total of things, all of the lighting for this setup cost $290.88. All right, so we've gone over the cost of the cage. We've gone over the cost of lighting. Now we're going to go over the cost of all your decorations. If you can't tell, these are some pretty serious pieces of cork bark. You can't buy these at your local Petco. I actually ordered them from a company called Maryland Cork Company. Really awesome customer service. Give them a call on their website and tell them exactly what you want. I told them give me the biggest pieces of cork that you can, because as you can imagine, when you have a 6-foot cage that needs to be filmed up, you want some pretty big pieces of cork. The reason why I like cork is because it's humidity resistant. This stuff will not mold, it will not rot, and it's naturally antimicrobial. There's Harriet checking out the camera for you. I believe in one of my last videos she was in shed, so now she's really giving you guys the full color show. Look at her pink chin. Oh, she's beautiful. Got some of the blue coming through on her stripes. Anyways, the point is, the cork, yes, it's expensive, but my ideology behind purchasing it was that it's an investment. PVC cage is made out of plastic. This is going to last forever, and I wanted pieces of driftwood that could last just as long. My order from Maryland Cork Bark cost me a total of $306. It was a hefty order. They sent me 2 big boxes, and I was very happy. It's like Christmas in July, except instead of presents from your parents, you're getting yourself giant pieces of driftwood for your lizards. The other thing is the substrate. I use Reptile premium coconut substrate. Quick and easy. I love it. It's cheap. 1 whole block covers this entire thing. So I believe 1 block of Reptile is $29.99, and I buy it directly from them on their website. You can always pick it up at your local reptile shows too. Sometimes they knock it off, like instead of $29, it's $25 or $24 at a show. So you save a little bit of money, but when you're investing in a cage like this, everything counts. The last thing too is your Sterilite water tub. This is just a 15 quart Clearview tub. I like it. Just super easy to lift and clean. Got nice handles. I can change this in literally 2 minutes, and that way the dragons get fresh water every day. If you want to invest in a big naturalistic pond setup, be my guest. I'm not gonna lie, guys, I tried it. I failed at it. It sucks. It's a pain in the ass to clean, and I've stuck with changing water every day. It takes 2 minutes of my time, and it guarantees that these lizards are getting fresh water on the go. You're not worrying about balancing nitrites and your nitrates and getting a cycle going. It's just clean water in, poopy water out. Perfect lizards. You can see all of her spikes are perfect. She's got no stuck shed because she's able to fully fit her body in here. Same goes for big man Ozzy over there, giving you guys a show. He's missing spikes from previous stuck shed issues, but you get the idea. He still looks nice and pretty. No stuck shed on his toes or anything like that. It doesn't look pretty. It ensures that they can fully soak their body, and it's only $7.99. So you're spending $8 on a tub, which is going to last forever. Change it in, change it out. Healthy lizards. The last thing that I do want to mention before anybody kills me, these plants I got for free, so I'm not counting them in my cost. Same, that was an old tub I had lying around, so I'm not factoring that into my total cost of the cage because I didn't pay for that. I, of course, went through my rummage. Same goes for this old half log hide. Gives them like a ramp to go in and out of the water. But the point being is that see what you have, see what you can use, and then spend your money. So the big question that everybody asks, how much did all of this cost? Well, factoring in that I spent $300 on cork bark, but I only used about a third of the order. If I do the math, a third of the $306 cork bark order would be roughly $102 just for this cage and cork bark, plus the Reptile, plus the tub of water, counting all the lighting, and then the cage itself. We have spent a total of $1,370.86. So while I do always say they cost about roughly $2,000 to set up, okay, you know, we're just under $700 short, but I'm not calculating in the cost of setting up a dubia colony. I'm not calculating your weekly crickets, your superworms. I'm not calculating the calcium powder. I am talking about just the setup. So yeah, the big enclosure is around 1.3 grand, but in total, I would definitely lean closer to $2,000. If you're not buying a dragon from a breeder like me and you're dealing with a wild caught dragon, you're going to have to be paying a very expensive vet bill for parasites, because these guys, when they're imported from Vietnam, they will be loaded with nasty bacteria, and that is a fun thing to deal with. That's why I always suggest finding a captive breeder such as myself. That's sort of what I want to encourage people to do. Is if you want a Chinese water dragon because it's the cheap $25 lizard at a Petco, you're in this hobby for the wrong reasons. Honestly, you'll probably kill it like 90% of people, but when you look past the price tag and you just get to see how beautiful of an animal a healthy, 2.5 foot female Chinese water dragon or a big 3 foot male water dragon like Ozzy, granted he's missing his tail, so he's technically shorter than her, but the point being, when you spend money to make these lizards happy and healthy, you get out what you put in. And that's so true with Chinese water dragons. I guess I'll close this video here and stop my rambling. This enclosure cost a lot of money. Chinese water dragons are not cheap, but if you put in the money for them, they will be an incredibly rewarding pet for you for the next 10 to 15 years, if not more, of your life and their life. I'm Alex with Alex's Agamids. I hope you enjoyed this mini discussion on how much it costs to set up an enclosure for a Chinese water dragon, and I'll see you in the next video. Adios.